Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video, and today we are going to do a character guide on Deuce. So Deuce just got her Force and BT, and I think she's looking really good right now as a nice support character. Really nice FR condition. If you're not familiar with her, she is like a major battery healing character, but she's just loaded with buffs and auras that help the party, and now she gets a really nice follow-up attack so that she actually can do pretty decent damage as well. So in this video, we're going to look at her calls, her artifacts, and her spheres, and kind of give a little showcase and show you what this girl can do. Fully maxed out. I got her totally decked out and ready to go here. So let's start with the calls. Her calls aren't really worth using. Her first call is literally just a magic attack up buff on the party. Nothing too big there. The LD is decent for healing, but other than that, it's nothing too crazy. It increases the magic brave damage you deal, but not a big deal there. So the thing with Deuce, just in general, I should say, is she is like a really good general support that works with anybody, but she does do a little bit extra with like magic attack, and magic damage. So she works even better with magic damage dealers, but you don't have to use her with magic damage dealers, right? So let's go ahead and look at her artifacts and her spheres here. Go ahead and take a look at that. So if we go to her artifacts right here, I actually don't have her good artifacts yet. So I don't know. I think the last time I buffed her, I had kind of something different in mind, and I think I still need to go through. And it's unfortunate because she's on a Spiritus fight right now, so she doesn't have a farmable artifact. I'd have to do it through the generic one. But what I will say is you do want this Unremitting Earnesty Boost 2-star, which is Party Eye Brave and Attack Up. You really want it for the Party Attack Up. And then I think for the other one, you either want Attack 108 or Max Brave 330. I would say if you want to focus more on her supporting, you want to give her Max Brave. If you want to focus more on her damage, give her Attack. I like her a little bit more as a support character, so I think I'm going to go Max Brave and then the Earnesty Boost 2-star. But what I might do is I might just farm up 3 of each. That way I can choose which one I want when I get to that point. The reason why Max Brave is really good on her, she batteries on almost every button she presses, and it scales off of her Max Brave. So it's going to make her battery a lot better. So I feel like Max Brave is kind of the way to go there. But if you want to go attack, she does put up good damage. So if you do want to use her as a damage dealer, give her attack. Okay, so with that, let's go ahead and check out the C slots here. So C slot and D slot spheres, you got some interesting options here, right? So for C, I think something that like raises the party attack. So you've got... and the thing is because she's healing and battering and buffing, like she'll fulfill almost any C orb you want to put on there, a C sphere. So Maria, Lude, and Iris, I think are all really good ones you could put on there. Alphanod works too. It's just Alphanod, like if you have him, you kind of want to save him for other characters because this is more generic. But if you have Alphanod and you want to, Alphanod's good too. But I do like Iris a lot because Iris has the biggest attack buff out of that. I think Iris and Lude both have like bigger attack buffs. So I think Iris and Lude would be the ones I would lean towards in their healing triggers, which we can get, right? Another way you could go about it is if you want to focus on Deuce as a damage dealer, then you could go with something like Jill or even like Garnet. These are going to increase her own attack by a lot. And actually Jill's really good because it increases her Max Brave and her attack. So you're going to be helping her battery as well and giving her attack. So I had a full Jill, so I decided to put that one on her. So it depends on how you want to go. You can really build her more offensively or more to be a support character, or you can kind of do a mix, right? Then the D slot, there's a ton of options here. Any of the party attack ones, so Ash, Saz, Lise, Hope, Cisne, Queen, and then even Waka here, right? Luna Frey is like the only attack one you wouldn't do because that's a weakness trigger. But I think this is like one of the best spots to use Waka. Waka is a Max Brave attack, and I feel like Max Brave attack is like the best combo you could get. And I think Queen, Cisne, and Hope and Waka here, they're the Max Brave and attack up ones. And so I would say any of those could work, but I would go for Waka because Waka is a sphere that not everybody can trigger, whereas Deuce can very easily trigger this because you just have to have 5 or more buffs on. And Deuce will self-sustain. She puts 5 or more buffs on herself at all times. So I think just this is a really great spot for Waka. So I would recommend if you have Waka, put it there. Okay. So with that, let's hop into the showcase and see what my girl can do. We are going to run her with Aerith because I want to show how well Aerith... Because one of the things I like about her is her FR. And I want to show how Aerith will echo off of that nicely. And then we're going to bring Fujin to help make her damage look good. So let's go ahead and hop in and see what Deuce is looking like here. And we are obviously hopping into the Rex fight, what we've been doing. Do I even need to bring a friend unit? I mean, sure, we'll bring an Aerith to get like extra. We'll grab Sed's Aerith, sure. Thanks, Sed. We'll grab that, and then we'll get some extra ramping. And we're gonna bring up this gauge really quick. And like Deuce, she has force charging, and she can ramp up her own. I think she can do like 130% ticks on her own FR. Like, it's pretty good. She can ramp quick, which is why I think Deuce has a lot of value, right? So with Fujin, let's go ahead. Sure, we'll start with your EX. And I just got to make sure I get like my good calls on. We won't worry about launch damage yet. Sure, there's hitting the damage right away. All right, so we've got Deuce up here. Let's go ahead and let's start with Concerto. This is her force charging move. So it's instant turn rate, doesn't do any damage. Does some good things there. So let's talk about that. So it's a party battery, which scales on her max brave, and it is a party heal. Free turn and extends her own buff. So, you know, Fujin still has a little bit of damage there. Let's pop it again, and we'll force charge a little bit with it. There we go. Fujin is now full healed. We'll take that. Then let's just go to Dissonant Sonata, her other move. This one's more of a filler move. You're not going to do this one a lot. It's pretty much just if you're not sure what button to press, you need to pass turn. But a mill AoE for a support character, we'll take that. We don't have any BT auras up yet. So sure, that is another battery scale on Max Brave AoE attack. And then she gets a buff called Crescendo, and then a magic attack up for the party, right? So the Crescendo buff, it does stack. So one thing I guess we should talk about is she does have an important note buff that does stack. And a lot of things in her kit will scale based on the stacks. So based on the stacks of note, you get Max Brave and Brave Regen. And just know you're probably going to end up keeping those stacks at max. As long as you just keep the buff active, you should be good. Okay. Now we got Fujin up again. And I think with Fujin, I think we do just want to... Let's get some, let's get some of this going. We'll get some Rydia, some Raijin going, and then we're going to go ahead and let's start to get some BT effects up. So let's get Fujin's BT effect rolling. Alright. Alright, and then we finally get Aerith's turn here, which is good. You'll notice I may have bought the Deuce costume. It is too good not to buy. I like the costume. Very, very nice. And of course, non-dodgeable, sure. We gotta get Raijin on. I think Raijin is right here. Yep, so let's get Raijin on before I forget. These guys like to try to poke some damage at me. You know, they're trying to promote the tank Rex, right? Because Rex is such a tank. Alright, so now we are going to go BT effect right away. And then I suppose... Yeah, I think we will just ramp all the way with Aerith, and then... Yeah, we'll just ramp it up with Aerith, and then we'll go into Deuce FR and start to show off that, right? I know we still have to do, like, her LD and EX and stuff, but yeah, I kind of just want to get into her FR, because it is really good. So we've got that. We're going to ramp a little bit. Yeah, let's just ramp it up. Then we're going to see Deuce do some crazy things here. I should talk about her overhead, right? Let's talk about... And that does come from the LD. And I am going to want to refresh that soon because it's only got 3 turns on it. We'll get there, though. Alright, I think if I pass turn here, we should be good. There's Prayer to the Cetra pass turn. It never passes turn when I want it to. We'll do Seal Evil here. Alright, then we're going to let the enemies go here. Alright, so we'll let these guys go, and then we should be at full force. Yep. And we'll take the Wind Slash traps. They're going to get their force, by the way, too, which is fine. Oh, no, we are going to beat them to force. Alright, we'll take it. So let's do her FR, which is called Let's Play a Duet, and I like it because it's instant turn. It's not like Aerith, though. It does deal damage, so it doesn't do, like, the huge gains, but, like, on her own, like, when she echoes on herself, it's going to be 100%. And we'll talk about, like, how hers works here. Alright, so we're going into FR here. Perfect. Alright, so let's talk about what her FR does and why I like it. So it is a party battery, big AoE attack. The party is going to get the note buff for 11 turns, which is very good. And then basically the HP damage conditions are this. As long as the acting ally has the note buff, you get 40%. And that does not require an attack. So as long as you have note, which you will, because the FR literally gives it to you for 11 turns. So they're just saying you get 40% for free no matter what you do. No matter what button you press with an ally, you are acting and you have note, you're going to get it. So that's really nice. And then if you battery an ally on turn, you get another 40%. Now this one, not everybody will trigger, but there's a lot of characters that still do FR attacks that will battery. And then you're going to get 100% because you get 20% for the attack. And then you get 80% for meeting all the conditions, right? And then somebody like Aerith, Aerith will be battering, and she will have note when she does her FR. That's going to be 80 plus her base 80. She's going to be 160. So it's a really good one because it's going to echo well with a lot of characters. So let's just do Deuce's echo right away. Okay, so she is going to echo. I do want to get her BT effect up, but I really got to refresh her overhead, so we're going to hit her LD next. Okay, and then this should come in for like 100%. Yeah, 105%. Okay, and then we definitely have to LD with her, so let's do Hymn of Healing. And then we'll talk about what this does. Alright, and we're getting the launch damage here. And now because I didn't let them... Well, they're still not going to die, though. They have thresholds where they have to do the tentacle knock thing. Alright, so the LD heals the party batteries, the party AoE attack. And then it basically just refreshes the overhead, which is called Hymn of Healing. It's a party attack up, Brave gains up, Magic Brave damage up, Overflow up, HP damage up, HP regen. And then all of her buffs get a +3 turn duration on them, which is very good. So you will always want to upkeep that, right? Now we're going to do the crazy Aerith shenanigans. Watch this. Watch how quick we're going to get this gauge up on Deuce's FR. We're just going to pop these off like crazy. So there we go, 165%, pretty good. And by the way, we got another one of those coming. Another 165. Talk about overkill. And then here's the thing, I do want to do a Deuce burst phase, but I actually have to like take a turn with her to get her BT effect, and then we got to circle around one more time. And look at this, we're now like for extra overkill, let's bring in the friend Aerith and just do it again. Why not do the extra overkill here? If I'm not careful, we might actually end up beating this fight. Like, will I kill these enemies before I can get her BT effect up and into her burst phase? It's possible. I might have to hold back. And I'm not doing a good job of holding back because I'm going to put us at, like, max gauge. Look how quick we just went from, like, 200% to basically maxed out. Sorry about the pop-up. So here's the thing, guys. I noticed that there are pop-ups coming in right now. I am using a new... I just got a new phone. I got the new crazy iPhone 15 or whatever. Normally, when I plug into OBS, it doesn't allow notifications, so I'm not used to turning my notifications off, but whatever this setting is, it's allowing notifications to come through, so I apologize for those little pop-ups you're seeing. Alright, so let's go ahead and do that. I will make a mental note of that in the future. I'll just have notifications off if I'm recording. But yeah, it's weird. On my other phone, it just OBS made it like it just knew that I was doing stuff, and it wouldn't allow notifications through. Kind of odd. Alright, so now we got the friend Aerith's BT effect up. Now, she doesn't have her overhead built up yet, but that's fine. Alright, alright. Do I want to... Alright, yep, now they're doing tentacle knock, so that means now that we can damage him further. Alright, so we've got Echo here with you. We've got your BT effect up. Yeah, I guess we will Echo just to keep the turn count high. Sure. I was going to say, I'm tempted to kind of summon. Just to get through, I should have maybe used my summon. Because then that could have got me through Deuce's BT and then back to her again. I mean, I don't think these guys are going to kill me. They're like doing no damage. That's fine. They can, and we got Aerith as backup, I suppose. But I do kind of want to look at her for damage, right? Yeah, they're just doing a bunch of zeros. That's fine. You can do all those zeros. All right, we got to get the BT effect up here. Let's do the AA. Actually, I shouldn't have. I just wasted a force turn. What am I doing? Ah, terrible default player. That's okay. Yeah, I definitely shouldn't have done that. I wasted a force turn. That was not good. Because now we're going to be on like turn 5 or something by the time we go into our burst phase. But that's okay. We have to have our BT effect up. It's so good. Okay, so let's talk about our BT. And I want to go into a burst phase with this on. So, yeah. And so you notice we get those Attica follow-ups. That's 10 mil AoE on the additional on top of what she's already doing. And remember, she's mainly a support character. And this is going to be really good damage. So she battery scaled on Max Brave. So what happens is anytime she does an action, she's going to trigger that Attica follow-up. And then it's going to do normal BT auras. So brave damage limit, HP damage limit. But then when Attica goes off, it gives the party a special buff called Forzando. I think that's how you'd pronounce it, Forzando. And this Forzando buff is very good because, let me just find it here, it gives HP damage and HP limit up 20%. Okay, so here's the thing. Between her BT, so her BT normal buff is giving you HP damage and limit up 20%. This buff that comes from Attica gives you HP damage and limit up 20%. And then her overhead gives HP damage up 20%. So you're getting a 60% HP damage up to the party, which is part of the reason why she's so crazy. It's going to enable so much damage for the party, right? So now this Aerith just needs to pass turn. So sure, let's just do Seal Evil. That's fine. We're going to have, like, no... That's okay, though, because, like, we'll be in our burst phase, but we'll get Retain, right? So we'll get some damage with Retain, and we'll do some normal damage. Yeah, dude, these guys are falling apart. I normally do not kill the Rex fight, but normally I let them go into their force, and they can't really die when they're in their force. So I'm feeling like I need to hold back a little bit, too. Okay, we can do a force here. That's going to save us a force turn. That's nice. But then Aerith has another freaking turn. Okay. So you can see right there, we got 65%, which is pretty solid for just like Fujin attacking, right? So that was Fujin getting the free 40% for having the note buff, and then I didn't meet the requirement of the battery, but we still got the 20% bonus for doing an attack, right? All right, so now this Aerith, let's Fury Brand, I suppose. All right, so we're going to have 4 normal force turns, and then we're going to have some retain turns, but that's fine. We will do like her big attacks. We'll like open with her EX, because I would say Deuce's EX and LD are like her big buttons to press for like damage. All right, so now we got Deuce up here finally. Yeah, these enemies are about to die. Okay, so let's go into burst phase. Let's do her EX, because her EX, we need to see that damage. Requiem of Ruin. Let's hit that. Once again, we're going to get this damage plus the Atticas. So, and we got launch damage. Fujin's helping. Now we're really going to look at the damage at a full gauge here. So we got 40 million with 22 on the side enemy. And then Attica's going to pop in for another 9. So dude, she just did 50 million. Like that's like damage dealer numbers, right? And she's a support character. Let's do the LD again. Yeah, dude, that's that's not a number to shrug off. Like, that's a good number. And just remember, we're getting all this extra HP damage up to the party. It's like everybody in the party is doing more damage. Yeah, 40 mil. So yeah, so she's just popping out 50 mil. And once again, there's not another enemy, but there's AoE damage there as well, right? Let's do the FR at full gauge. Yeah, this fight's over. This fight is so over. So FR, yeah, 40 million. I mean, that's kind of where she's topping out. So yeah, with her follow-up, she can do 50 million. Not every character can do 50 million, but she can. And while getting all the crazy support. And then, yeah, that's pretty much everything we've seen here, right? Here goes Sonata again. Now, this is definitely a weaker attack, but how much is this going to do? We are definitely juicing her up, too, with Fujin. But yeah, still 30 mil there. Plus the Attica for another 10 mil. And remember, that Attica 10 mil, that is full AoE. So if there's 3 enemies, that's 10 mil to everybody, right? Dude, do I need to do a damage test on Deuce? I might. I might need to run into Bahamut with Deuce. I might have to. This is really good damage. It's like... it's like you summon her for the amazing support and auras, and then the damage is just a nice bonus. Right? This is just gravy on top. And then we got a 500% retain here. So we got full force 50. Still good damage. Alright, did we overkill enough? I believe we did. So, anyways, guys, there you go. There's Deuce. Let's see what our burst number looks like. Keep in mind, This burst phase was mostly single target, and we did not have full gauge the whole time. So I think I might need to get a proper damage test out on her. Still 236 million. We'll take it. So anyways, guys, let me know what you think of Deuce. I think she's absolutely crazy. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one.